Have you ever poured hours into studying, feeling like you're cramming knowledge into your brain, only to find that much of it seems to evaporate when you need it most? This is an experience many of us share. But why does it happen? How can the very effort we put into learning actually make us remember less? Today, we're going to explore the fascinating reasons behind this paradox, breaking it down into 7 common mistakes that hinder memory retention. Along the way, we'll draw on insights from some of the greatest minds in history to help us not only understand these pitfalls, but also overcome them. Mistake 1: overloading your brain. Let's begin with the most obvious culprit, cramming. Imagine trying to stuff a suitcase to the brim with no time to organize it. The result? Chaos. That's exactly what happens in your brain when you overload it with information. Cramming may seem like a shortcut to mastering material, but in reality, it often leads to burnout and forgetfulness. Neuroscientists explain that learning requires the formation of neural connections, and these connections take time to build and strengthen. When you cram, you're flooding your brain with data without giving it a chance to process or retain anything meaningful. Albert Einstein famously said, "Any fool can know. The point is to understand." Understanding requires time and space for your brain to make sense of the material. Instead of cramming, try the spaced repetition technique. This method involves revisiting material at gradually increasing intervals, allowing your brain to reinforce connections and move information from short-term memory to long-term storage. For instance, review new material on the first day, revisit it a few days later, and then again a week after that. Mistake 2: lack of focus, multitasking. Now, let's talk about focus, or the lack thereof. Many of us pride ourselves on multitasking, believing it makes us more efficient. You might think you can study while checking your phone, replying to messages, or even watching TV in the background. But here's the truth. Multitasking is a myth when it comes to learning. Studies have shown that multitasking significantly reduces cognitive performance. Your brain isn't truly handling multiple tasks at once. It's rapidly switching between them, and each switch costs mental energy and focus. Bruce Lee once said, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." To retain information effectively, you need undivided attention. Solution: create an environment free from distractions. Turn off notifications, put your phone away, and focus solely on the task at hand. It's not about studying longer. It's about studying smarter. Mistake 3: passive learning. The third mistake is one of the most common: passive learning. This includes activities like rereading notes, highlighting text, or simply listening to lectures without actively engaging. These methods may feel productive, but they don't help you retain information. Benjamin Franklin captured this idea beautifully when he said, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn." Asterisk learning is not a spectator sport. It's an active process that requires your involvement. Solution: engage actively with the material. Summarize what you've learned in your own words. Create diagrams or mind maps, or practice retrieval by testing yourself regularly. Studies show that self-testing is one of the most effective ways to reinforce learning and identify gaps in your knowledge. Mistake 4: ignoring sleep and rest. Next, let's address a mistake that many of us make in the name of productivity: sacrificing sleep. When you're facing a big exam or deadline, it's tempting to pull an all-nighter, believing the extra hours of study will give you an edge. But this approach is counterproductive. Sleep is essential for memory consolidation. During sleep, your brain processes the information you've learned, organizing it and transferring it to long-term memory. Skimping on sleep disrupts this process, leaving you forgetful and unfocused. Leonardo da Vinci once said, "A well-spent day brings happy sleep." But we can flip that around. A well-spent sleep brings better learning. Solution: prioritize sleep as part of your study routine. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Additionally, incorporate short breaks into your study sessions to recharge your mind and prevent mental fatigue. Mistake 5. Skipping the big picture. Another common mistake is diving into details without understanding the big picture. When you focus solely on specifics, you may miss the broader context that makes information meaningful and memorable. Aristotle put it this way: the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. To truly know something, you need to see how its parts connect to the whole. Solution: before diving into the details, take a step back to understand the overarching concepts. Use tools like outlines, concept maps, or diagrams to visualize relationships between ideas. This approach not only enhances understanding, but also makes it easier to recall details later. Mistake 6. Studying in isolation. The sixth mistake is studying in isolation. While solo study can be effective, isolating yourself entirely from others can limit your understanding. Discussions, debates, and collaboration often reveal perspectives and insights you might have missed. Confucius said, "Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance." Interacting with others can help you identify gaps in your knowledge and deepen your understanding. Solution: join a study group or find a study partner. Even a quick discussion about what you've learned can help solidify your understanding and make studying more enjoyable. Mistake 7. Fear of failure. Lastly, let's address the fear of failure. Many people avoid testing themselves because they're afraid of making mistakes. But here's the truth: failure is an essential part of learning. Thomas Edison famously remarked, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each mistake you make while studying is an opportunity to learn and improve. Solution: embrace mistakes as part of the process. Regularly quiz yourself, tackle challenging problems, and review your errors. By confronting your weaknesses, you'll turn them into strengths. Now that we've uncovered these 7 common mistakes and their solutions, it's time to rethink the way we approach learning. Remember, effective study isn't about how much time you spend, but how you spend it. Let me leave you with the timeless wisdom of Mahatma Gandhi. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs it. Don't forget to subscribe to Wisdomland for more insights and practical tips. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and stay curious.